thank you so much for joining me for Black History Month 2022. For those that don't know me, my name is India Williams, and I'm the Equality, Diversity and Inclusion Manager for Newport City Homes. So how exciting! Black History Month is an absolutely great time for us to be able to educate ourselves and raise awareness of the Black achievements of people in and around Newport, and of course nationally and globally. First of all, you might think, why have we got Black History Month? Why is it so important? Well, we all know Black Lives Matter, but do we really know why Black Lives Matter? And, do we really understand about the contributions that Black people have brought to Newport and the surrounding areas, and how much they've contributed to our society, our infrastructure, economy, etc. And hopefully, we're going to learn a lot more about that as the month goes on. So I think there are lots of different reasons why we still need a Black History Month. They've been happening for quite a while now, but they're still going strong. And I think we're nowhere near ready to kind of peel back away from that yet. In the future, I absolutely hope that we will not need a Black History Month, because hopefully we'll have learned so much about it. But right now it's still pretty important, and some of those reasons are so for example, if I said the word to you, Black or Black person or Black people, how comfortable does that make you feel? And that might make you feel fairly comfortable, but for other people that I speak to, some people still do that, the little kind of sharp intake of breath, thinking, oh, is that the right thing to say? Am I supposed to say Black? Because a lot of us grew up in a time where you might have said coloured, and that was a perfectly acceptable and normal thing to say, but it isn't anymore. And some people will tell you, I still feel comfortable about that, but the majority of people won't, and Black is definitely the right word for us to be saying. And Black History Month's a great time for us to say Black lots of times, really get it under people's minds that that's what we people say, and for help people be able to own their identity. So there are some other kind of a bit more harsh realities about why it's really important that we have a Black History Month and we raise awareness of Black people and their achievements. And that's because, really sadly, Black people are still 37 times more likely to get stopped at a stop and search than a white person. And they're also 3 times more likely to get arrested, which is, really shocking. And I think I don't need to tell you all about the likelihood of you being appointed to a vacancy, a Black person versus a white person. The outcomes are kind of, well publicised. But that's why it's really important. And at Newport City Homes, we've put things in place to try and improve those odds. So we monitor the likelihood of you being shortlisted, and we also monitor the likelihood of Black people being appointed. And, we're actively working year on year to improve those figures. Now, a couple of the other reasons why it's really important is because we just haven't learned about it in school. And 2022 is an absolutely really exciting year in Wales, because it's the first time that they've introduced mandatory introduced Black history into the curriculum. But prior to this, we haven't, people that, are in the workforce, a majority of those will have never learned about Black history, have never had to learn about Black history. And that's why it's so important that we start talking about it now, particularly in the workplace and, in society. So one of the key things I think is that when we have learned about Black history, we might have learned about individuals like Martin Luther King, but how can you possibly learn about a whole society and communities of people through the achievements of individuals? And the kind of on the other side of that, in our very much white history, we also learn about some individuals whose behaviours were quite questionable. So, we tend to look up to some heroes such as Sir Francis Drake, or Lieutenant General Thomas Picton was a Welsh one, of course. And, we have praised his achievements in the Battle of Waterloo, but actually he was, was proven to be mistreating Black slaves, which, is far from ideal. So, it's really, really important that we start to really publicise some things like that, and that we put, real Black role models on the curriculum. And I'm so grateful for this year that's that's being introduced. It's great. So they say that the first steps towards change our awareness. And I think that's really why it's so important that we start to really talk about Black history as much as possible. So therefore, across the month of October, we are going to be celebrating Black History Month in a variety of ways. So in the first week, we're going to be talking a lot about Black history in and around Newport, and, you know, kind of the more historical history. We're going to start far back as 55,000 years before the Common Era, and we are going to be working all the way up until today, and how it's particularly shaped Newport. So stay tuned for that video. In the second week, it's going to be Hate Crime Awareness Week. So we're going to be talking about hate crime, the impact of hate crime, and referring you to kind of some of the different organisations that can help with well-being and if you do encounter hate crime, such as Fearless, etc. And also it's really important to know that, you know, you don't need to be the person experiencing hate crime to be able to report that. In the third week, we're going to be talking a little bit more about modern Black history. Who are the people out there now? And, you know, I've got some really exciting interviews set up of local Newport Black figures that will be able to tell you more about their experiences. And then we're also going to be telling you some of the community project work that's going on, and how you can get involved. And then the final week, week 4, is a celebration week, because of course Black History Month isn't just about raising awareness, it's also about celebrating, and that's really, really important. So this year, I'm really excited. We are collaborating with all of the local primary schools. Have been invited to participate in an art competition all about Black History Month. So we have given them a brief about celebrating a diverse Newport, and they're invited to create pieces of art, particularly focusing on race and culture and the achievements of Black people. We've given them some kind of ideas, you know, the things around like the Newport race riots, Black miners, Black dock workers, etc. And they are all going to be submitting their art competition designs to us across October. And in the last week of Black History Month, we are going to be getting our customers to vote on those final designs. And then there will be a winner, very excitingly. So on the very last day of October, which is the last day of Black History Month, we will announce the competition winner, and they will win a £500 voucher for art supplies for their primary school, which is obviously a really nice way to get the community involved, to make sure that we're all talking about Black history, you know, of all ages, right across the community. So really hope that you will join us for this exciting month. And you might think that Black history is not for you, or you might think I'm not Black, or I'm not interested in it, but Black history is for absolutely everybody. You know, it is to raise awareness of Black contribution, Black achievements, for white people, and for us to be able to have a better understanding and improve relationships. But it is also about raising the confidence in our Black communities, for them to be able to own their history and be really proud of who they are. So yeah, lots of exciting things going on, and I hope you'll join us. Take care.